Good morning, Ghost Robo Army. What is going on? It is a happy freaking start to the week because Nintendo just announced something super cool and super near to my heart. Gaming for me. Nostalgia and gaming go back to the SNES. And I started playing on the NES, but I was basically a small gnome of 4 years old, so I wasn't very cognizant. SNES is where I really realized I love this stuff. And this morning, Nintendo announced officially the SNES Classic Edition. Now, this has been rumored for a while. Eurogamer had a tip earlier this year that it was going to be coming out. People weren't sure if they would sort of mix the waters of the Switch and its epic holiday lineup with this plug and play, but they decided to do just that. It comes out on September 29th for $79.99, 2 controllers, HDMI cable, mini Super Nintendo, and 21 games. I think this is an awesome package, and I don't think it cannibalizes anything to do with the Switch at all. Couple of reasons. One, there is no virtual console yet, so these games are not purchasable on the Switch. Two, 80 bucks, that's freaking less than a set of Joy-Con, and you're getting a whole bunch of nostalgia, and this is going to be sold more at like the front, I think, of stores and kind of as like your grab-and-go gift, whereas the Switch is going to be locked up. Now, these may get locked up if they are made in as limited of quantities as the NES Classic, but we don't know anything about that. I'm guessing Nintendo is going to keep them pretty slim pickings just because at some level that creates so much more hype when it's a hot item, a wanted item, and an unattainable item. But let's go through this list and see if you think it's something you want to obtain. They got 21 games, and the most interesting thing is that one of them is previously never released. Star Fox 2, they're throwing on here, the sequel to Star Fox, and it was never released anywhere. How weird is that? Nintendo, a company who doesn't really like it when people mod and mess with their games. Nintendo, a company that likes to just re-release the same stuff to you over and over on Virtual Console. They're throwing a brand new old game at you. I think that's really cool, but let's go through the list. 21 titles, 30 on the NES Classic, but there's 21 here. They're bigger games, and you'll see why. Contra 3, The Alien Wars, okay. Donkey Kong Country, there we go, woo-woo, I love that. Gotta get some DKC. I thought maybe we'd get all 3 DKs, but 1 is fine. I prefer 2, but 1 is the OG. Earthbound, that's a great get. Subtle nod towards Mother 3 being localized, maybe. Final Fantasy 3, F-Zero. People have been clamoring for F-Zero on Switch, and probably not going to happen anytime soon, if ever, but now you are getting some F-Zero action in 2017 via an HDMI cable. That's pretty cool. Kirby Superstar, Kirby Dream Course. I love Kirby Superstar. It's not the hardest or the longest game, but I really like that game a lot. And Dream Course is pretty cool as well. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Gotta get that classic 2D amazing Zelda action. Be interesting to go from Breath of the Wild and the DLC there to this. Mega Man X. Gosh, that's one I was really hoping for. And it's not the best Mega Man game, but it's the one I spent the most time with, so it has a special place in my heart. I love Chill Penguin. I love Springman. I love Junkman. I love some of those guys, so it's a really fun game and one that I can't wait to replay. Secret of Mana. Okay, that's a good get. My friend Gabe loves that series. A lot of RPG love here. You got Star Fox 1, Star Fox 2. Again, very cool of them to do that. Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting. Now, man, you can pay $40 for Street Fighter 2 on Switch, or you can pay $80 and get Street Fighter 2 and 20 other games, and it's probably a better version. I don't know, man. I think it's a smart inclusion. It makes me feel a little weird about that Switch version, though. Super Castlevania 4, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and now we get into the list of the Super. Super Mario Kart, great game. Feels so much different than 8 Deluxe. Go from playing 8 Deluxe and Mario Kart to a whirlwind of chaos. Super Mario RPG Legend of 7 Stars. Yes! Super freaking glad they've dropped this one on there. Some Geno and Mallow love. Love the idea and the execution of this game. I feel like it's one where Nintendo went on a limb and really committed to delivering something wholly different and unique for Mario at the time. And even compared to today's Mario and Luigi RPGs, it's so different. It has much more of a Final Fantasy vibe to it. It's much more traditional. It's got totally turn-based combat. Really cool game. Super Mario World, gotta give it that to us. Super Metroid, fantastic. Get you prepped for Metroid Prime 4. Interestingly, you'll have Samus Returns out on the 15th, and then this SNES Classic on the 29th. So technically, you could play that and then Super Metroid and just have a month of Metroid. Super Punch-Out, which I'm pumped for. I actually was about to rebuy that on the Wii U Virtual Console. Glad I didn't. Now I get to play it here. And then Yoshi's Island, which is another personal favorite of mine. So much weirdness there, but so much goodness. They just captured creativity and Nintendo's charm in a really freaky way, with Baby Mario screaming and crying and drug time clouds and all sorts of awesome stuff. Boss battles that are super memorable. Very, very cool. I think this is an epic list. Obviously, it would be great if there were more. But hey, 21, and they picked 21 awesome ones. I don't know that you can really complain about this list. And at 80 bucks, 21 games, less than $4 a game. That's awesome, especially considering that these are double that on the Virtual Console. So this is the best way to get them, and it is all in this cute little SNES package. I love the mini consoles. It's interesting because the American SNES Classic has the purple buttons and the controllers that I know, and the European SNES Classic is a different form factor for the console and the controllers with the colored buttons, which is fun. Kind of tempted to collect them all. And I wonder how rare this thing is going to be. Let me know your predictions in the comments. Is this going to be like the NES where people are forking over $500 on eBay for this thing? Or is it going to be plentiful? Are they going to pack these into Walmart's, Targets, wherever else people go? I'm curious to see how they handle that. You know, the Switch is obviously their priority. Getting that console out there, and then pushing their lineup of Super Mario Odyssey, Fire Emblem Warriors, Xenoblade 2, Mario plus Rabbids, Kingdom Battle, Splatoon 2, ARMS, Mario Kart, Zelda. It just goes on and on. Maybe this is a way, like, if they're out of Switches, hey, you can still get in on that Nintendo train with an SNES Classic, or maybe it's just, like, more of a lower point of entry. Like, if you're not going to buy a Switch, you don't want to fork over $300 plus tax, plus games, plus controllers, and drop $400 or $500 for $80. You're in, and you got 21 games. Maybe this also targets a different demographic. The Switch is like the hot item for your kids, but maybe you get the SNES for your significant other, or your brother, or your sister, or your best friend. I think it is a super good package. I'm so glad it's coming this year. I like that it's hitting in September. Keep it away from Mario. Keep it away from Black Friday so the Switch can have that spotlight. That's what it needs if you want to really push those units. But I love that they're releasing this, and I love that they didn't do anything crazy, right? I love that they didn't say, hey, we're going for a $100 price point. I love that they didn't say, hey, we're going to, you know, really limit the games that are on here. I love that they really tried to cover a lot of genres, a lot of franchises, and it seems like they tried to really cherry pick people's favorites, which I got to give them props for. And then the inclusion of Star Fox 2, I think, is weird and cool, and I like that a lot. I'm worried about how rare this thing is going to be. Me, personally, if I could rush to a store and get an NES Classic or an SNES Classic, I would be all about the SNES Classic. I feel like, in general, the games here translate more to the modern era. I feel like they look obviously better, and I feel like they play better, and I feel like mechanically they make more sense to the modern gamer. I love that they are doing this. I am so excited to, like, return to my childhood. Look, I was 7 years old. I was kind of bummed because we just moved. I was living in an apartment before our house was ready. I just started a brand new school. I came home. It was my birthday. Boom. Got the freaking SNES, and it was amazing. I started off with Donkey Kong Country 2. What was the name of the wrestling game? WWE Superstars? WWF Superstars? It was the wrestling game on SNES. It was WWF Super WrestleMania. That's what it was. Loved that game. No, it was WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game. That's the one it was. Okay, it was the arcade game with Doink and all that goodness. I had Super Mario World, and that was what I began with. Those three were my games, and then we eventually got Yoshi's Island, and we branched out and got Uniracers, which I love. And we branched out, we got Earthworm Jim, which I love. And we branched out, we got Mega Man X. It was just such a good time, and such a fun couch, co-op couch, competitive time with my brother, and we would play that thing so much. Our parents were stressed. We were waiting for our house. It was just a transitionary time for my family, but the SNES, like, I loved playing it. I love those moments. I love those memories. I'm excited to share this with my brother again and share it with my younger brother who wasn't even around when the SNES released. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. What games out of this list are you most pumped for? Do you think this thing is going to sell out like crazy like the NES? Is it going to quickly become a collector's item? Is it going to quickly become an eBay crown jewel? Or do you think that either it'll be less desirable or there'll be more of them made? How do you think this is all going to shape out? Let me know. Let me know. There's no pre-orders yet, but it's coming out September 29th. $79.99, 21 games. You get that unreleased Star Fox 2, cute little mini HDMI cable, 2 controllers, and a really fun way to play a bunch of the Nintendo classics. In a year when Nintendo's crushing it, I feel like they did this right. I feel like they did it right. Yeah, if it was $60 like the NES, that would be better. But hey, it's a generation up. I think $20 extra is not too bad. $79.99. I'm cool with that price. I think a lot of people will be as well. But let me know your take in the comments down below. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hope this starts your week off even better. Enjoy your Monday. Smile. Make it the best you can. And until next time, everybody, I love you. Drink some much chocolate. And we'll see you all later.